me floating here, a feather in the air. Oh, but when the wind blows, will I tumble or sail away?
Hello everybody, welcome back. It's 10:30 in the morning. We're gonna be going out and doing stuff today. Here's where I get to sleep. Last night, the bed experience I think was like, I'd say a 7 or 8 out of 10. Pretty decent. But yeah, I'm excited to go see more of Las Vegas. Let's go.
I'm spinning in a vicious cycle. I'm scared of doing something I'll regret. Maybe this is right, but I'm still staring at your silhouette. What if you're everything I need? A fire in my heart, the air I breathe.
My mom really wanted to go to downtown for a couple reasons. One, she just wanted to walk around Fremont and see everything, but also she wanted to go to these beef jerky stores. I remember we would always go to these stores when my family would go to Vegas for vacation. I believe they are like rooted in Hawaii or stuff. They definitely have some Hawaii products like Spam, of course. But yeah, it's basically a tradition that we always go to the beef jerky store whenever we come to Las Vegas. They of course had a bunch of beef jerky, but also some other little snacks. After that, we just kind of walked around Fremont. You know, I always get a kick out of this giant screen on the ceiling. But anyway, we just kind of walked around just to see what was out there. I of course had to do all of my touristy pictures. And then we caught an Uber to Trader Joe's because once again, we do not have a Trader Joe's in Hawaii. It's another tradition to always go to Trader Joe's whenever we come to Vegas for vacation. I've seen some people get in trouble for filming inside of Trader Joe's, so I tried to film very discreetly in here. However, it did mean that I got pretty much no usable footage for this vlog, but you know, there's a few little clips inside of Trader Joe's here. I feel like Trader Joe's is so interesting. Like all of the food just branded Trader Joe's. I don't know, I think that's really funny. So we just did a bit of like buying snacks and whatnot to bring back home.
We came back with beef jerky and Trader Joe's. Now we're gonna go take the monorail for the first time, and we're gonna go get In-N-Out. We don't have an In-N-Out, so it's very exciting.
Since both me and my mom are terrified to drive anywhere besides Hawaii, we ended up just getting 2 tickets for the Las Vegas monorail and using that the whole time. And so we ended up traveling to the LINQ promenade, mainly to get some lunch, but also just to kind of look around and stuff.
Wow.
It was really cool to see the razor store there, like that was a vibe. But of course we were there to get some In-N-Out. Once again, we do not have an In-N-Out in Hawaii. So In-N-Out is like the one place we have to go whenever we come to the continental US. I'm a very boring person. I got just a regular cheeseburger. I'm also quite picky and I have a phobia of sauces, so I had to get no spread, which I feel like is a cardinal sin at In-N-Out. I also don't like tomato, so I had to take out the tomato from my burger too. But yeah, eating In-N-Out for the first time in like 5 or 6 years, I think it was pretty decent. I don't know. I will say now that I've been home for a while, I have been craving another In-N-Out burger. And I think like most people say, the fries are pretty terrible. Like it just kind of tastes like cardboard. But after In-N-Out, we ended up going to a little attraction called the Museum of Selfies. I don't know, I saw it on the LINQ's website, so I decided to try it out. I think it was like $30 for each of us. It was basically this giant room with a few photo ops. I will say having something like this where it relies on you basically taking pictures, it's very, I don't know if annoying is the word, maybe inconvenient to have like a bunch of people there. So you're just kind of like waiting for people to take their pictures so that you can go take your pictures. There was like this group of teenagers who, you know, they had to get all of their Instagram pictures and whatnot, and I'm just kind of like standing there like, you know, I'm not here trying to get a bunch of pictures, I just want a few pictures. So it's kind of an awkward and just weird experience being there with a bunch of people and you just kind of have to wait around. Luckily, Luckily, my mom was there to get some epic pictures of me. There was this really cool like black hallway where there were neon lights and stuff. I do like me some neon lights, so this was kind of a cool little area to get some pictures in. I don't know, I feel like I definitely learned being here that I suck at being photogenic. I had no idea how to take photos, so like I feel like I was just struggling. I felt like Chandler, you know, rest in peace, in that episode of Friends. There was also this emoji pool, which just kind of felt like a terrible idea. There's a big plaque that says absolutely no diving or jumping, which makes me wonder if anyone has done that, especially because before we went into the Museum of Selfies, both me and my mom had to sign waiver forms. But yeah, going in here, I'm not gonna lie, I just felt disgusting. Like, look at the color of these balls. Like, they all look so discolored. It felt so gross. I felt like there was probably so many different viruses swimming through these emoji balls. So I was just like, okay, let's get this picture and get the heck out of here. It felt so disgusting. There were just some cute little photo ops, you know. There's also this one where I guess you're just kind of pretending to be on a private jet or something. And if you watch my previous vlog, you'll see that we did get to fly first class, so take that. Oh yeah, and they also had one of these infamous infinity rooms where it's just a bunch of mirrors everywhere and they have like the colored lights hanging. It was so funny because neither me or my mom could figure out how to get this room to work. Like, no matter where you stand, it felt like you could see the person taking the picture in the reflection. I don't know, maybe I'm just dumb. I just couldn't figure it out. They also have this little photo set, which I feel like you see a lot of times on Instagram and stuff. It's basically like a tilted room where the bed is on the wall. So you take the picture and then you're supposed to rotate the picture so it looks like you're standing on the wall or something. Similar to the infinity room, I had no idea how this worked. Like, I didn't know how to get any good pictures, so I just tried to take some stupid pictures, you know, try to be silly. There was also this bathtub with like fake coins in it. Once again, I felt so disgusting. Like, I felt like there's probably so many different strings of COVID in there. So I wanted to get out of there as soon as possible. There's this cute little like backdrop with the flowers and stuff, like, you know, very cutesy stuff. And then that was pretty much it. Like, I was surprised how small it was, not gonna lie. When I was planning this out, I was expecting this museum to take like at least an hour or like an hour and a half. I would say we were out of there in like 30 minutes or so, maybe 45 minutes at max. But I will say the good thing about it is that it is good for 24 hours, so you can come back anytime throughout the day, which is pretty cool. But yeah, we were basically just out of there and headed back to the hotel again. Hey vlog, we made it back to the room. We took the monorail. Going there was fine, but then coming back, it was super duper crowded. I think there's like a convention going on, which is funny because we're also here for a convention, so hopefully that's not how crowded the monorail is gonna be when we go. Also, we were walking around a bit, and what I've learned is that I feel like the homeless people here in Las Vegas are a lot more aggressive than I'm used to. Very, very aggressive, like yelling at people and stuff. It was very scary. But now we're going to dinner. We're gonna be going to Guy Fieri's Las Vegas restaurant, and it should be a fun time. So now we have to go back on the monorail. So we were back on the monorail, heading to the LINQ again, this time for dinner at Guy Fieri's Vegas Kitchen and Bar. I was actually quite interested in these like celebrity chef restaurants, so I did try to look for as many that I could find. And I will have a video in the future going through all of the restaurants that we ate at in Las Vegas. But for now, what I can say is that geez Louise, these portions were massive at Guy Fieri's restaurant. It was quite yummy though. I got this like barbecue pulled pork sandwich with fries, which was really good. But after that, we headed out again to the LINQ promenade, this time at nighttime, which was pretty cool. It was really cool to see like the giant Ferris wheel at night and all of the lights again. Geez Louise, are all of the lights in Vegas so just completely overstimulating. But after that, we once again took the monorail to go back to our hotel room. Update, we now have Froyo. Today started out with taking the monorail, this time to the Las Vegas Convention Center, to pick up our TwitchCon badges, which will be in a separate vlog all about TwitchCon. For now, what I can say is that we stopped along the way to go to Hash House A Go-Go, which is like one of the breakfast spots that we would always come to on family vacations. Unfortunately, Hash House A Go-Go does not take reservations, and it was completely packed in there, so I said no thank you. Instead, we ended up going to none other than Starbucks. I would say we don't have Starbucks in Hawaii, but we do. We just needed some kind of breakfast before going to the convention center to get our TwitchCon badges, so we just got one of the saddest breakfasts I've ever seen. Just a regular old ham and cheese croissant with an apple juice. But after that, we of course headed back onto the monorail to go to the convention center. On the way to the convention center, we could see the Sphere, which was really cool. Really wild how big that thing is and seeing all of the different things that are like being screened outside of the Sphere. Anyway, after we picked up our TwitchCon badges, we headed back to our hotel and just kind of walked around the strip for a little while. And luckily, as we were walking around the strip, we ended up stumbling across the Stranger Things official store, which I had no idea was even a thing. It's kind of closer to New York, but I was like really excited to go inside. Right as you go down the escalators, there are these really cool Stranger Things photo ops. So of course I had to take some pictures by myself. There were these giant Funko Pops of Eleven and Eddie, as well as these cool like old-timey bikes with the cool little backdrop. There were these neon red lights as you walked in, which is like the Stranger Things intro. And then once you actually walk into the store, I was so surprised that it was like completely decked out, like very fan servicey, and it felt like the actual set of Stranger Things. So this first area is like a replica of the Byers household, which was really cool. You know, there were all of like the Christmas lights hanging from the ceiling. There were also like a bunch of old-timey shelves with merch and stuff, really cool. There was even the alphabets on the wall, you know, like really like fun little fan servicey type stuff. So of course I had to take a picture on the couch. You walk further into the store and there's like actual like shop stuff, so you know, like t-shirts and all kinds of little things. And then there's another room which is like the Hawkins High School locker room, and it has a bunch of like Hawkins gear and whatnot. Like it was really cool. It felt like we were in Stranger Things. Lots of cool references. And then if that wasn't enough, right next to the locker room you had the arcade, which once again is very similar vibes to the show. I believe it was what, season 2? There were a bunch of arcade machines, you know, neon lights. Like it was really cool. It felt like you were in the show. I ended up getting like a small little souvenir, just a little tote bag just to remember the place by. And then as you're leaving, there's a giant Demogorgon. But after the Stranger Things store, right next door actually is the M&M World. We always used to come to M&M World on family vacations, you know, like being a kid, and it was so exciting.
The escalators from King. Oh! Can I take a picture with the M&M?
I was so excited to take a picture with this like mascot red M&M. They had the giant wall of different colored M&Ms, which was like my favorite thing as a kid. There was a really cool window where you look out and it's like the New York roller coaster. That was really cool. But anyway, like not gonna lie, now that I'm not really a kid, I don't know, I found M&M World to be a little bit underwhelming. I'm sorry. So after that, we headed out back onto the strip just to kind of walk around. We went to the Park MGM in order to find one thing and one thing only, which is the Hello Kitty Cafe. We bought a single pastry and it came in this really cute little Hello Kitty bag. We got the Hello Kitty cupcake. It was so cute. Even the box it came in was so cute. But I mean, you know, it was just a basic little red velvet cupcake, I feel like. I think the aesthetic of this little store is very cute, so, you know, I just wanted to see it. And then we headed back to our hotel room for a small little lunch.
Okay, we got some pizza from the lobby. Let's see how it is. Wow. Those are some tiny pepperoni. I don't know. It's okay. This is where the pizza was from. So after a quick break, we will now be heading over to Gordon Ramsay's Pub and Grill. I've always wondered like if his food is actually any good, so I'm excited to actually try it for myself. So let's see how this goes.
So Gordon Ramsay's Pub and Grill is at Caesar's Palace, and while we had some time to kill and walked around Caesar's Palace for a little bit, we happened upon this store called Kappa Toys, and it's like a Japanese store with a bunch of little toys and games and whatnot. So of course there was a bunch of Pokemon, a bunch of like Nintendo stuff. Really cool to see in Las Vegas. But finally we headed to our dinner reservations at Gordon Ramsay's. There was a shirt that you could buy that says it's raw, of course, that exists. And then we got seated at our table, we looked through the menu, and I had already like looked through the menu before we even went on this trip, so I knew that the prices were gonna be ridiculous. The overall aesthetic and kind of vibe of this restaurant, it felt a lot more mid-class, which is like something we were looking for. Like we didn't want to go to any high-class restaurants, especially because we didn't have any like high-class clothing. So I was just wearing my regular like t-shirt and flannel. But anyway, I ended up ordering the braised short rib and cabbage. It came with the short rib, I think it was mashed potatoes and gravy as well as cabbage. And yeah, it was very, very yummy. Like, it was really good. So anyway, afterwards, we had to head back to our hotel. Oh, and funny story about these clips specifically, this was when I was internally freaking out because I came to the realization that it is ridiculously just impossible to get around casinos. Like, we were just trying to find the exit to this gosh dang darn casino in order to get to the Las Vegas Boulevard so that we could find the monorail. But I just ended up feeling so claustrophobic and like I was trapped inside of this casino. It really sucked. Like, I realized how much I just hate trying to navigate casinos in Las Vegas. Anyway, we finally did end up finding the monorail station and we saw the Sphere, which had the Xbox logo on it. Really cool. Like, I feel like if anything, the Xbox logo is perfectly fit for the Sphere since it is just a sphere.
Well, folks, here we are. We just had a nice Gordon Ramsay dinner. I'm probably going to go to bed very early because tomorrow is day 1 of TwitchCon. Very exciting. So I guess I will talk to you guys again soon. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
I'm not afraid.